In energy news, Nigeria says the time has come for West Africa to stop relying on foreign markets to set the price for its oil products. The country is now pushing for a regional fuel price benchmark that reflects African supply, demand, and refining realities. Now, the absence of a regional pricing benchmark is attributed to lack of transparency, investment in supply chain efficiency within the West African fuel market. And those were some of the views that were shared at this week's inaugural West African refined fuel market in Abuja by Farouk Ahmed, the CEO of the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, and Vera Blay, the head of marketing reporting at S&P Global Commodity Insights. Let's listen to this conversation.
This conference is actually organized by NNDPRE in collaboration with S&P Global Commodity Insight, the pricing benchmarking agency like Platts that does the pricing benchmarking for petroleum products and crude oil. So the idea is we have been, as a country, major consumer of petroleum products, and then also currently the way as Dangote Refinery comes on stream and improving in terms of production capacity, and other refineries around the West African coast like Senegal, Ghana, Niger, Cote d'Ivoire, that we see the need for pricing benchmarking for West Africa. Because as we import products into West African region, the bulk of the assessment is based on Northwest Europe, Mediterranean Sea, Mediterranean, Arab Gulf, and other like Singapore. But what we say that we are the consuming nation, and eventually we are going to be net exporter of petroleum products out of West Africa. We need to have our own price and benchmarking so that we can reference our own peculiar operational exigencies and operational flexibility to ensure that we do the pricing basis. So Platts, of course, is a major international pricing benchmarking agency, and they agreed to come on and work with NNDPRA to ensure that we bring that business back to West Africa. And of course, Nigeria will benefit immensely because there'll be a lot of trading activities, shipping activities, marketing activities within the Nigerian coast, and bunkering activities in terms of shipping movements will help Nigerian businesses. And that's the key issue that we look at that is beneficial to Nigeria, but we're looking at West Africa as a whole, as a team, as a region, as a whole. Yeah. Because see, we call this regional collaboration. So we are looking at as a region of West African region, but eventually we're looking at Africa as a whole, because this benchmarking issue, I think, and pricing hubs in the whole, I think there are only maybe 4 or 5 regions or hubs in the world. And if we can have one in Africa, particularly in West Africa, and in particular Nigeria, it would be a major plus for us in terms of business activities, petroleum and oil and gas business activities. Yeah, it will help with availability because the whole operations, businesses will be back maybe within Nigerian coastal area, So there'll be more activities in terms of shipping activity, which means more employment, more business opportunities for those in the oil and gas sector, more trading activities, because you see a lot of Nigerian maybe oil traders now coming on force because the liquidity will be within Nigerian shores rather than maybe in other regions. So because currently bulk of the importation from Nigeria is from Northwest Europe. That is from ARA, that's ARA, Amsterdam, Rotterdam, Antwerp. They have a lot of blending facilities, refinery facility there. But if we can pull that away from the ARA, from Northwest Europe into West Africa, that means the business activity will be in here. We have Dangote Refinery, when the proper production, when they stabilize at 650,000 barrels per day, there'll be a lot of petroleum products kind of that, out of that refinery. With the NNPC refineries coming on stream, all these modular refineries, Boa refinery, and then, like I said, the one from Senegal, Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, and even Niger, then there'll be a lot of products, liquidity that will enhance the marketing, trading, and shipping activities. A good question, and that's why I told you that this is like a collaborative. First of all, it's collaboration between S&P Global Commodity Insight and NNDPRA. here in Nigeria, but we have invited also all the regulatory agencies and other marketing agencies in Africa. So we have about 12 to 13 countries here present. So it's a collaboration for all Africans, particularly in West Africa. So it's not, Nigeria is not doing it alone. So we are meeting with all of them, and we have had side meetings in order to harmonize our positions, look at each country's interest into consideration so that we can both put the standards together in terms of quality, in terms of operational exigencies and policies by all regulatory agencies of West Africa and Africa as a whole. But particularly now we are focusing on the West African region, or we would say the Gulf of Guinea, where most of this trading shipping activities taking place.
Well, we heard yesterday that the time is right now, and that's the reason why we're here as well, right? So we're at the cusp of the regional market developing. Nigeria is a great growth story. West Africa is a great growth story. And so this market now has the potential to really come into its own. At S&P Global Commodity Insights, we have 100+ years experience of developing commodity benchmarks, and that's why we want to be early in the dialogue, partner with the NMDPRA to facilitate the discussion and to see how over the coming years regional price benchmarks can develop. I think the takeaways for everybody who's been in the room here yesterday, who's in the room today, is all stakeholders have to act in tandem, right? This isn't just for one party or another to move things forward, whether it's the refiners, whether it's the traders, the infrastructure providers, the regulators, or an organization like ours, a price reporting agency. We all have our not only talk the talk, but walk the walk to provide the market with the foundations to develop regional benchmarks. Okay. I think the West African region is full of potential. It's one of the biggest growth stories in the market right now. You look at Europe, you look at the US and other regions. Actually, we're talking about being at the cusp of perhaps, some of the refined product markets, demand slowing down, transitioning. Here, it's actually really all of the above. The hunger for more oil demand, the hunger for renewables demand, all that is happening right now. And so the region can really come into its own and therefore will also become more independent of pricing mechanisms that can just cater for the fundamentals in the market here.